Well, in our last segment of the day, we got impeachment coming, folks. Lauren Boebert, baby. She's putting in the impeachment. Oh, it's happening. It's happening. Heck, you know what? This is a good story, good times. We might as well plug a good book, Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. Check it out. All the links are in the description below. You can get signed copies at baldbread.com. Heck, if you want to go crazy, pick yourself up a mug. Look at that logo, boys. Oh, folks, this is the only mug I own from Bald Brad. I drink it out of it every day. It ain't coming off. I know some of you like Shib and others, Neil, I think Green, a few of you got mugs yourself. Head over to baldbrad.com, pick yourself up a copy, and get yourself a mug too. Copy of the book, get a mug, get a signed copy, a little bit pricey, but folks, you're supporting an American president. Whoa. Supporting an American patriot. We're having too much fun this fine morning. So you have this impeachment happening. Representative Lauren Boebert introduced articles of impeachment against President Joe Biden for his unconstitutional dereliction of duty at the southern border on June 13th. Couldn't agree more. Personally, I'm not a big fan of just going after every president. Oh, we got to impeach him. We got to impeach him. We got to impeach him. They did under Trump, and I didn't agree with what they did under Trump. Honestly, even kind of like Bill Clinton, I didn't necessarily agree with certain aspects of even trying to impeach him. I didn't agree with what he did, obviously. But I think it was, I think it was a little bit much from the Republican side of the aisle, and a little bit of the Democrat too, to kind of go after Bill Clinton on certain aspects of it. This one I really agree with because it actually is a dereliction of duty. Joe Biden is in office to execute the laws in the books, and he literally is not doing it. And you can objectively look at that. Here's the issue. As we saw in the first segment, people don't objectively look at anything anymore, and they can't tell the difference between men and women. I mean, they think there's an infinite amount. Like, you could be anything you want. You could be a cat, you could be a wolf, you could be a dog. So when you have people that can't look at objective truths and reality together, like I said, society falls apart at that point. So there's going to be people here that go, no, there's no dereliction of duty here. He's holding up the border. And you're like, you know that there's like 25 million illegal immigrants in the country right now. You've just shit. And first-time voters, by the way, if you give them amnesty, first-time voters overwhelmingly vote Democrat. I mean, you will have a presidency for Democrat Party for like forever in your lifetime. You will probably never see a Republican president ever again. So if those people get amnesty, which is what they're trying to push, see you later. That is what I believe the goal of the Democrat Party is. So the congresswoman made a surprise privilege motion Tuesday evening to force every member of Congress to vote on the matter this week. House Democratic Whip Catherine Clark, Democrat of Massachusetts, oh God, indicated Democrats will make a motion to table the resolution, thereby preventing it from reaching the floor for a vote. That's typical. It's not a shock. It's not a shock because Democrats don't want to wake up to what the hell's going on. Similar to the fact that they don't want to acknowledge that Joe Biden allegedly has money coming from freaking all over places that nobody wants to look under the hood for. Do you guys understand that 17 to 20% of voters would have switched their vote if they knew about the Hunter Biden laptop? 17 to 20%. You just won the election. But you're seeing the suppression of information, which is why I want you to come here on the Bald Brad Show and others. A lot of you said you never even heard of the Hunter Biden tapes that we displayed, Joe Biden tapes that we showed that were leaked. I mean, I'm a dude in my closet, and this is nothing against you guys. What is our media doing? I'm not a journalist. I'm some dude that's sitting here with a bald head and a beard, writes books, and does a show on YouTube and out of his closet that's going like, hey, this is some crazy crap. If you haven't seen that episode, folks, we give the full story from 2014 to 2023 here on Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, the whole alleged scheme that's going on with Burisma, Ukraine, the laundering of money. It's wild. Go check out that episode. Full length video. You know what some people commented on? Some people goes, the video's too long. Dude, it's a decades of information. Of course it's going to be long. Like, are you crazy? Do you think the alleged scheme with Joe Biden is a simple thing to just talk about? The dude that's been in office for decades, you think it's going to be a minute-long video? Some people, I'm telling you, man, you try to understand where they're coming from. The same way John Kennedy was trying to understand that lady that thought there was an infinite amount of genders. It's wild. In the same way, we're going to try to understand the Democrat Party here that thinks that Joe Biden did not have a dereliction of duty here of protecting the borders. So Ian Sam, spokesman for the White House counsel's office, there's a joke, claimed Boebert was merely trying to grab attention. Quote, instead of working with President Biden on solutions to issues that matter most to the American people, like creating jobs, Joe Biden thinks that he created 12 million new jobs. This guy's an idiot. So you shut down the entire country and let everybody go back to work. We created 12 million new jobs. Nobody believes that. Democrats don't even believe that. That's how much these people gaslight you. Lowering costs and strengthening healthcare. Lowering costs. folks, they had a graph just like a week and a half ago that showed an uptick of when Joe Biden took office. So they had before Joe Biden took office, it was like down here. And it showed when Joe Biden took office, and it just went up straight, and it was still higher than what it was even before he took office. They haven't lowered costs for anybody. There's still inflation. They're freaking idiots. They're such idiots and just liars. Extreme House Republicans are staging baseless political stunts that do nothing to help real people and only serve to get themselves attention. Really? Does anybody here on the Ball Brad Show actually believe that nonsense? They're extreme House Republicans. Everything's extreme. It's not extreme what the Democrat Party has done since their inception. You know, the party of slavery, the party of the Ku Klux Klan, the party of sitting there and actually oppressing people of color the entire time the party's been established. And it's from that party that's doing it and still doing it through a metaphorical ideology today, similar to what Dinesh D'Souza and Candace Owens has been espousing. The metaphorical plantation. That's not extreme. It's not extreme that literally have Black Lives Matter and Antifa run roughshod over our cities, causing billions upon billions of dollars in damages, of which we don't have any answers to as to who started it and why, and nobody's in jail for it. You have a president that allegedly embezzled $3 million plus from China, as well as $5 million payments of hush money from who the hell knows into Burisma accounts that was siphoned out each and every month from 2014 to fall of 2015 with Hunter Biden and Archer, his business partner. Like all this stuff, really, but we're the extreme ones that just sit there and want people to be left alone. The party, the Democrat Party that espouses, free speech and all these things, censors people constantly left and right on big tech. The same people that gaslight you, Hunter Biden laptop's not real, it doesn't exist. It's Russian misinformation, then it's Russian disinformation. Turns out the damn thing was real. Then you get a 1023 form from the FBI that rubs the shoulders of the Democrat Party that says that the form isn't real. Then you have Chuck Grassley standing on the Senate floor saying, I have the document, I've actually read the damn thing. Then the FBI goes, oh yeah, I guess it is real. Really? You're gonna call us extreme? You sit there and pushing this January 6th committee that had nothing, you had 40,000 hours of tape, and you showed us 6 minutes of it, if that, out of 40,000 hours, that you actually watched, by the way, because we have the stamps to actually prove that you watched it, and you blame it on your staffers. Really? We're extreme Republicans? Should we just keep going? I can go on for a whole episode just pulling this shit out of my ass. That's off memory. Of all the crap that the Democrat Party's done, and you're going to call us extreme Republicans for trying to figure this ish out because you don't want to protect the border. We're literally have terrorists pouring across. And you have Alejandro Mayorkas going, oh, we know where they are, Brett, when he's on Brett Beyer's show. Even though the day before, Alejandro Mayorkas was asked by Jim Jordan on the Intelligence Committee, saying, hey, where are these terrorists at? He didn't have a clue. 24 hours later, when he's on Brett Beyer's show on Fox News, still didn't have a clue. Really? You had to have the CDC during COVID-19 move the cages, these camps in which these illegal immigrants are pouring across the border. When you had it at 50% capacity, they were stuffed in there like sardines. This had a capacity of about 150. You have 300 people shoved in these pods. Then you had to ask the CDC to create 100% so that you can actually fit more people in there. And then that still wasn't enough. So you actually flied them to the interior of the country into arenas, which we have photos of. We also have security cam footage, a body cam footage of actual police officers seeing undocumented flights in the interior of the country on these tar mats with no lights on. Really? Should we just keep going here on extremism? Because I'm not hearing anything from the right, really. Oh, the extremism on January 6th. Let's go back to the January 6th thing. What was the FBI informants doing there? With Donald Trump saying, oh, protest peacefully. We're going to blame it on him. When we're seeing literally footage of people with their hands in their pockets shooting the shit with the people inside there. Nobody's running around. Nothing going on inside. Yeah, some people broke some stuff. I don't agree with what happened. I think it was a dark day. I don't agree with what took place. But the picture that was painted was bogus. Just shooting the shit right here, talking to Capitol police officers as the place was supposedly insurrection. Government was being taken over, supposedly. United States government was being taken over. All the while, you're practically having a cigarette, just sitting there shooting the shit, flipping through your wallet. Oh, yeah, the weather's pretty good outside. Nothing too bad. Yeah, Trump got voted out. Crazy shit, huh? Yeah, I wonder if the thing was rigged. Can't talk about that. No. So enough of me going off. Freaking A, it's so frustrating. It's such baloney. Such baloney. We don't put up with it here on the Bald Brad Show. Join us, folks. Become a patriot. You're seeing what you're getting. You might as well support somebody that's not going to sit there and BS you to your face. I'm going to give you what I think is right. I'm going to tell you what I think is right. Hopefully not be censored. Look, if we get thrown off here, we're also on Rumble. I try to be careful just a little bit here because, again, this is not my job. I don't do it full time. If we can get enough people to join us here and basically like fund ourselves, then yeah, I'll go full blown. But, Got to make money outside of this, folks. I got to live. I got to eat. I got to eat. Instead of working with President Biden again on solutions, he's going to push this whole knucklehead thing. So under the first article, we're going on forever, but folks, it's a podcast. I hope you're enjoying. Again, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Pick up yourself a mug, drink some coffee with us. We're hanging out together. We got an awesome community here on the Boebert channel. We're only growing, and we will grow. We're not giving up, folks. We're not giving up on the country. Some people might have done it. Under the first article, Boebert noted that Biden has intentionally facilitated and complete and total invasion of the southern border. 100% correct. 120,000 troops invaded Ukraine. I think it was on February 24th. I said it was an invasion. Granted, they had weapons. We have 5 million people that we know of under the Biden administration coming to our country illegally. No invasion. So 120,000, 5 million that we know about. It's more than 5 million, by the way, just under the Biden administration alone. It hasn't been 4 years yet, you guys. Terrorists have come across, violent gang members have come across, have killed people, by the way, literally killed Americans, have raped little girls multiple times. There was a 7-year-old that had like 60 DNAs inside of her. But it's not an invasion, you guys. They're all great people coming across. All of them are great, 100% of them. There's not a single bad person that's coming across that wants to hurt you and your family. Having knowingly presided over an executive branch that has continuously, overtly, and consistently violated federal immigration law by pursuing an aggressive open borders agenda. The resolution further states this. Check this out. Number 1. Purposefully and knowingly released more than 2 million illegal aliens into the interior of the United States without the intention or ability, by the way, to ensure that they appear in immigration court. There's literally a case that Joe Biden and the Biden administration wanted to keep in the lower courts because basically the idea and the policy that they want to try to push is to allow illegal aliens into the interior of the country without court dates. That's what they want. The ones that were getting court dates, by the way, when Title 42 expired like a month or two ago, is the court date upon that day that it expired was for 2027 and 2028. You guys, it's 2023. You think these people, that's how many years are you going to siphon money from the taxpayer? It's about $180 billion per year on illegal immigration. That's going to go up. We're looking upwards about $200 billion to $250 billion a year on illegal immigration now. So 4 years of that court date, that's $1 trillion. You know what you could build with $1 trillion in this country? Talk about wasteful spending. 2, ended the Migrant Protections Protocol to require aliens seeking asylum to remain in Mexico while being processed by the Department of Homeland Security. I don't know if that one's going to hold up because when Title 42 expired, they realized that Title 8 wasn't really going to work in the way that they thought it would. So Trump had this policy in place. This, I believe this is the protocol that she's referring to. Hopefully I have this correct. At least there was a policy that Trump had where you had to seek asylum in some country that you're traveling through before you actually come to the border itself. Joe Biden got rid of that. As you've seen, millions of people pouring across the border. So when Title 42 was instituted, they actually implemented Trump's policy back in, but they didn't call it Trump's policy. They just put in what's called a rule. They just put in a rule, or they implemented a prior rule is what they're referring to, because they can't say the word Trump because, you know, they call Trump a racist and a xenophobe and all these other things. Excuse me, a bigot, all these other things for what he did. So if Joe Biden does the exact same thing, he's not racist anymore. No, it's not racist that Joe Biden does it. No, of course not. Number 3, refused to cooperate with state and local law enforcement officials in securing the border. That 100% is true. To go back to number 2 really quick, again, the reason why I don't think that's going to hold up is just because of what Joe Biden and the Biden administration implemented by re-implementing Donald Trump's policy. Hopefully you can connect the dots. I didn't do a great job of explaining that. Number 4, allowed illegal aliens to enter the United States as asylum seekers despite knowing they did not qualify for asylum. That has happened bigly. There's a lot of people that are claiming certain things that are getting pushed through the system that don't meet the requirement. A lot of them don't meet the requirement. Don't even mention the gotaways they're getting through. Under the second article, Boebert noted that Biden has abandoned his duties to ensure that the laws are faithfully executed and upheld by presiding over an executive branch that has continually, overtly, and consistently refused to enforce the nation's immigration laws and secure the border, adding that the president has endangered the security of the United States and the health and safety of the American people. Yes, you know who's also coming in that they've caught is obviously you have the people coming from Mexico, but also South America, but other nations across the globe, China, Afghanistan. We did an article on that about, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago maybe. China right now is trying to build land next to our military installations. So if you're having unvetted Chinese come across the border, you don't know if they're a spy. I hope that they're not. I hope they want to have a better life here in America and assimilate to our creed, to our Constitution. But we don't know who they are, and that's the problem. Not everybody that's pouring across is good. People want to do harm to this country because they don't like it. China is building a secret spy base that the Biden administration just figured out, because the base has been being built for like 4 years in Cuba. Cuba, right off the coast of Florida. He's doing the best job he can, though, you guys. Doing the best job he can. The sad thing is there might be some truth to that because he's not up here. He's not up here. For those that are audio, I'm pointing to my head. This is not working. Hasn't been working for a long time. If your car doesn't work that well, it's probably doing the best it can to keep running. I know it sucks, but it's doing the best it can. Joe Biden doing the best it can to keep running, but it sucks. Democrats will still vote for it. Democrats look at Fetterman. Ain't working. Gets in. Joe Biden wasn't and ain't working. Gets in. Feinstein, not working. Still in. Nancy Pelosi hasn't worked in decades. Still in. Now you see the constant theme. I mean, how many Republicans can you name that have a cognitive disability? I'm not hounding them for having a cognitive. It's sad as hell. I don't wish that upon anybody. But how can you just list out, like, just randomly like that? Like, how many people are like, bro, yeah, you have a severe cognitive deficiency. If a Republican does, I'm more than happy to say, yeah, that guy shouldn't be in office. He's literally not capable of making connections and doing the job. Doesn't need to be in office. I like to have linear logic. I know sometimes I don't, and that's why I do the show, to sit there and figure out where's my logic not linear and how can I improve on all that. But I think a lot of the time I do. You guys are there to correct me. Wild stuff. Wild freaking. We're not done. Oh, we're not done here. So again, we're talking about under the second part of the article. He's not upholding the health and safety of this country. Boebert said in a statement last week, Joe Biden is unable and unwilling to faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States. Oh yeah, that's for damn sure. To preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution, it is imperative that the House of Representatives impeach Joe Biden and hold him accountable for his egregious violations of his oath of office. I mean, this is probably one of the closest things you could get to a president not upholding his job with what's going on just with the southern border alone. To impeach a president, lawmakers must make a case showing he has committed treason, bribery, and other high crimes and misdemeanors. In Biden's case, the House, currently controlled by Republicans, would vote to have him impeached. If a majority of House votes in favor of pressing charges, the Democrat-controlled Senate must consider them at a trial, with the House prosecuting the case. 2/3 of the senators must agree to convict, which isn't going to happen. Otherwise, the president would be acquitted. Notwithstanding the implausibility that the House would vote to impeach Biden, Boebert intimidated that there may yet be hope for Democrats coming on the side for the sake of the country. I think I had that wrong, having trouble reading this a little bit kind of far away from me. But nonetheless, you have kind of what's going on here. We'll see what happens. I think there's a strong case with the kind of maybe the high crimes if something comes out with Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, the laptop, and kind of the alleged money laundering that's taking place here. You got money coming from freaking China. Makes you wonder with the Iran deal under the Obama administration, what happened with that, where $1 billion went to them. I mean, you have money coming in from China in the same province that Hunter Biden had business dealings in, when our reserve for our oil was being siphoned because Joe Biden doesn't know how to run the country, and he was shipping oil to that province in which Hunter Biden has business dealings with in China, and they bought the oil from our reserve. But nobody wants to look under the hood on that. It's amazing what's going on. I mean, we long show today, 45 minutes. I mean, we can go on and on. If you guys want me to continue to go, if you want to hear me ramble, we could do it. The problem is I don't know how many of you want to hear the rambling, but there's so much uncovering here that we could get into. That's the thing. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.